We are officially back home from the Spanaway Moonshiners 4x4 and High Performance Swap Meet in 2025. It's always a good time over there, but now it's time at home to start unloading and sorting through everything that we bought. Or at least everything that's on my trailer, which is the majority of my stuff, a few friends' stuff. Not everything, but we'll look through everything that's on the trailer here. And in the messy truck, because we got stuff like this. $5 for brand new Rancho center pin bolts for leaf springs. You can always use those. This is a $5 HEI ignition module. You can always use these trailer plug ends and cords. Probably not going to put this on a Bronco. Trailer plug inside, $5. Some brand new grinding discs and the nuts for the grinder. That's always good to have spares of. All these here were 20 bucks altogether. The miscellaneous tools out of the dollar bin. We got 14 bolt install kit, brand new bearings and everything. Crushed sleeve, gasket. Two Chevy mini starters there that look to be in decent shape. They said they work. Bought those for like, well, it was 40 bucks for both. Plus I got the remote thrown in for free with that deal. Stock Dana 60 stub shafts. You can always use as spares because I've broken a lot over the years. I think I made a mistake here and kind of bought this one without even looking or thinking. I think that's a Ford one because it is a little bit shorter. So, oops. Anyone need a 4 Dana 60 stub shaft stock 30 spline? Chevy and Dodge version Kingpin Dana 60 calipers with what looks like was their brand new pads and brand new or reman calipers at one time. They've just been sitting a while, but got all the hardware with them. And this is part of a deal. They're pretty cheap. Remanufactured, so we'll see if them sitting has caused them not to work anymore, because there's a little bit of rust there from sitting, but we'll see. Some dollar each items, which were all these new exhaust clamps. Mostly, I think these are all 3-inch, but man, when I went to look at getting clamps when I needed one, how much they were to buy them brand new. So I bought, I think, the whole box here for, I think it was 15 bucks for 18 of them. I just offered for the whole box. More dollar a piece tools. I can always use more extensions, a couple of wrenches that we always use, a couple sockets I'm always missing. Some of these maybe clean themselves, but they're battery terminal cleaners. And I got 3 of those. $1 each. These, I mean, they're kind of cheap Teflon tape, but they had them for one of these little bundles for $1 each, and I got 7 of them. He had a $5 ratchet strap there too. I ended up giving him 10 bucks for 7 of these and the ratchet strap. I'm gonna put this dollar screwdriver in the house. Single wheel, not originally single wheel, Dana 60 bearing hub assemblies and rotors. They look like they were basically, well, they were dually hub assemblies that someone had, I would say, machined down, but the way how rough it is, I don't know if they did it by hand. I actually knew someone once that took a grinder and actually cut his way down to convert from a dually hub to a single wheel hub. He had a lot of time into that. It seems like they didn't quite finish all the way. That's why I was kind of wondering if it was maybe, you know, done by a hand grinder or tool of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what happened either, if these were actually ran, because these studs obviously are not long enough. Nothing's seated right. And I kind of wonder if they put all this time into converting, you know, dualies to single wheel. They're fighting with, yeah, I get longer studs. These seem long enough. Those aren't, you know, and then they're trying to get this to seat on the rotors properly. And maybe by then they just gave up and went and bought single wheel hubs. Either way, for what I paid for these for 60 bucks for both, was worth it. I mean, bearings and all still intact, races and bearings and all. Heck, there's still a spindle nut in there. Also from the same guy, I bought a couple Dana 60 carriers for 4, 5, 6 up. They I could use a couple of those because I got a welded carrier and one that I do not want to have welded. Also the homemade Dana 60 spring plate, which is the side that everyone needs, and this one is pretty well built. Also got a ring gear spacer for Dana 60 for if you don't have the proper low speed carrier And you have, like, so I've actually got one of these ring gears in my white 91K5. It's got a Dana 60 front that was, well, I had a 488 geared Dana 60 front that I got in a parts rig with an open carrier. And then I got a Detroit locker. It was for a 410. And you can actually use the ring gear spacer between the ring gear and the carrier to make up for the carrier offset difference. And you can actually run this. I prefer to have the correct carrier if I could, but in that case, you know, I already had a Detroit locker that was worth, well, at that time, you know, $600. Now I don't know what they're worth, but have this option just in case. When I bought all this with plus the stub shafts and the calipers, he had this $5 trailer jack that worked. So we rounded it off. I gave him what he was asking for all these other parts individually and basically threw in the jack. See, I think I bought a couple shackles for $5 each. Our neighbor across the aisle had these concrete anchors, brand new in the bags for $10 a bag. We ended up giving him $5 for both bags. And these, I don't remember, I think Justin gave like $1 each for these. Or maybe it was $1 for both, I don't remember, but it was cheap enough to not pass up. Now, let's get into this tote that I bought. We were kind of rummaging through this. He had this out as like $5 a piece items, so we were just kind of seeing what in here is worth $5 a piece. And then he also, I had seen he had these parts hubs. One is, I think, mostly complete, and the other one's just the outer. Doesn't actually have the locking hub itself. $20 for those. And then he said take the whole tote of $5 each items for $25, $40 for the hubs and the entire tote with everything in it. So I mean, look at all the stuff that we got for way less than $5 per item. I'd have to count the items and then divide it out by $20 to see what each of these cost. A hand drill, it actually works. I need both hands to show, but you can crank on it and it actually drills. I started to drill into my trailer deck with it. 40-piece generic tool set might be good to throw in a, you know, one of the trucks. I mean, we got all, I think this is for brakes, is it? Got a big 55mm wrench and a 50. Compression testers. I mean, don't even know what that is yet. So we got all kinds of stuff in here to, you know, this saw. Coil, don't really need that, but oh, look at that. Just all kinds of goodies. Stuff I don't necessarily need, some of it, but for the price. And I'm a hoarder, so I mean, you know, it only makes sense. Part of a puller there. Lots of generic screwdrivers and stuff. This, well, I was even looking at this. I was like, for $5 for a bunch of wrenches to throw in a truck. Well, got it for way less than $5. What else we got here? Oh. Huh. Another compression tester. So, I mean, I don't know. Can't pass up deals like this. You know, just always to have extra screwdrivers and stuff. There's a little 27mm. Probably don't need that. But, you know, go in a wrench drawer and sit there. 34 and 30. That looks like a 9/16, so, you know, usable. All my 5/8 wrenches have been disappearing lately. Whereas last year, I opened the drawer and it was all 5/8 wrenches. Now I can't find a 1, but at least I got one here. Another one. That one's seen better days, but still might work in a pinch. You know, all these nut drivers. Another metric 30 and 36. Yeah, all kinds of little goodies here. So 9. Usually I'm the one that ends up with 10mm stuff, but maybe not in this case. Oh, there's a 10 that's been customized. The total in this box is about 88 items. That's counting this box and this set as one item. And at 88 items, 20 bucks. Came out to just over 22 cents per item. So some of the things in here are probably only worth 22 cents, and other things are worth a lot more than 22 cents a piece. So definitely a good deal. At a true $5 an item, it would have been like $440, which obviously the guy wasn't trying to get $5 for everything in here. I think it was just for some of the bigger stuff. And anyways, good deal. I always love looking through totes and seeing what mystery things we find. And I don't know, it's just fun to me. Like, well, here we've got a customized, out of this bin also, a 3/4 inch wrench. And then here we've got a 1/2 inch. These I get thrown in a couple different trucks just to have extra tools, and this tote we'll go sort through more later. Let's move on to the next mystery boxes. We'll take a look at what these are. So we're at a spot and they had these 3 storage bins stacked up like this. It said $40 for all 3. I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat little storage system, you know, plastic, kind of lightweight, and little drawers. And I went to open the drawers just to see like how flimsy or whatever they were. And I was like, oh, it's not bad at all, you know. And then I'm like, oh, look, like it's like stocked, not fully stocked, not completely full, but there's a lot of cotter pins in there, just like the labels say. And then we got quite a few roll pins actually in there. And then, well, this sold it to me right here. I just went and bought some screws like this, a little longer, but I know what they were charging individually to go buy these. And I was like, okay, 40 bucks for all 3 sold. I'll buy them. You know, if not for the contents. I mean, look, we got there's all kinds of stuff going on in there. I don't even know where to start. Nails, no, not much on nails, just some finishing nails. Quite a few screws here, so I mean there's value there if they can give me those screws. Rivets, little machine nuts and bolts there, and some other, don't even know what they are yet, but we'll look through those later. Interesting. But yeah, like, it's not fully stocked, but there's enough in there that it was worth the 40 bucks, especially to get more storage containers that are portable and easy to move around and lightweight. And I just gotta, you know, build more space in the shop to put this. This cute little jack here, it's like super lightweight. We didn't bring a jack with because I switched trucks and then everyone else forgot to bring a jack. So I'm hoping that this will be a good little portable jack. I paid 40 bucks for it. They had it for 50. It's like a $100 jack online. You know, it's nothing super fancy or anything like that. So it was still a decent deal. Emily goes buys an engine stand for 20 bucks because she knows we can always use engine stands up here. So she scored on a good engine stand. Same people that had that stand. I went over and looked more, and they had this engine stand head, just the head itself. And I've got a couple engine stands that either have missing arms or the head's messed up. So this will get one of the existing stands we have usable again. Here's a motor that was labeled for free. So does it work? Does it not? I mean, it spins. I guess there's one way to find out. We'll plug it in. Well, maybe I'll find someone else that's curious enough to actually push the plug-in in. Aftermarket motor mounts and some longer shackles. Antique tire machine. It needs a little work. It'd be kind of neat if we could get it to work just for the fact of it. Robert Carroll bought all of these, just something for his trailer. Fred bought these little ladder pieces, or maybe it was Dale that did. They got some little straps. Fred said that he bought this for me. It's like a full motion TV wall mount. So I think Justin bought a Quadrajet wall there, but then he also bought this. And this is, well, I haven't seen anything like this, especially in a spread bore pattern, which is what I told me needed for Quadrajet. Looks kind of homemade. Well, I don't know. Oh, no. It's got some sort of patent pending there. So this is actually, maybe it was just modified there or something. I don't know, or re-welded. But basically, it looks like it's, you hook these up and then you can basically run and circulate coolant through this to keep it warm for like cold climate vehicles. I don't know. What do you get for this? Like 10 bucks or something? Kind of a neat piece. I haven't seen one exactly like this before. Anytime I can buy gaskets I can use new in the boxes and packages for at least half price, I'll go for it if I can use them. The small block Felpro exhaust gaskets for 10 bucks. They're normally like 22, 25. You got head gaskets for big block. They're Felpro through Napa. 10 bucks each. Usually they're about 25, 27, you know, be $30 or more each after tax, just to go buy them outright usually. Next, let's look into the least expensive and the most expensive items on this trip. Most of the swap meet, and even last year I was making commentary about how really not many good deals on tires anymore. They're way overpriced to where you might as well just go buy them new, or they're very cheaply priced and there's no tread left on them and they're basically junk, or there's still really no tread on them and they're basically junk and they're still overpriced. In the case of these, I walked up and saw some 39.5 IROCs that actually have decent tread left on them. Beadlocks, but unfortunately 15s. I'm trying to get away from 15s in the sense of having to grind my calipers on all my 60 fronts or disc brake converted rears. These are like 4 3/8, 4 1/4 back spacing, so there's gonna be some caliper rub. I had a price tag of $1,500 on them, which wasn't bad for all the other prices I was seeing on some tires. Offered 12 and he went ahead and took 12, so it's the most expensive purchase of the swap meet trip here. Kind of want to put these on the budget Suburban. Upgrade from the 36-inch IROCs, which are 36-inch IROCs that came from the same swap meet years ago. That's going to put a significant increase in the investment in the budget Suburban. The most expensive item on the budget Suburban if I put these on there. So, but that's okay because we're into the rest of it pretty cheap. And then let's go to the least expensive. Can't even call it a purchase. I did not buy these tires. So when I rolled them back and everyone's like, what did you buy now? I was like, I bought absolutely nothing. I did, however, get this set of tires for free. I actually walked past them a couple times. And they kind of caught my eye enough that I looked at them when I walked past, but I didn't actually go up to them and look. There was just two sitting there stacked like this. And I was like, oh, those old groundhogs. And then, you know, I was distracted with other things or on my way somewhere else. And then I went by them like a third, fifth, whatever time, you know, and they were there and I wasn't really paying much attention to them. And someone walking the other way was like, are those groundhogs? And I just kind of overheard. I turned around myself because I was like, you know, I'm going to go look myself because I'm kind of curious because they looked like a little different than, you know, the old school groundhog. I walk up and there's a free sticker on them. But then there was a set of free side-by-side tires, not these, sitting there too. Those guys that were looking at them went after the side-by-side tires and didn't want to mess with these. They left with those, and sure enough, I'm like, free. I was like, well, I'll take them for free. And the guy's like, yeah, the other two are in the trailer. There's a set of 4. All 4 of them, a whole set for free. I mean, a little lower tread, obviously. This one's a little better. They're not ground hogs in the sense of ground hogs, but they are the Interco, and they're for 20s, which is a bad thing for me because I do not have 20-inch wheels, and I need a 20-inch 8-lug, and I don't like how bigger wheels, and especially the different patterns they have, look. We've only got these side-by-side wheels stored in here for Fred because it made more sense to load. It is a Interco Cobalt MT mud train, I guess is what they're calling these. And again, they're not new by any means, but they still got some tread left. A little rough, a couple rougher than the other two. But again, for the price of exactly free, I wasn't going to complain. We've got another swap meet coming up in Portland in, well, a month from now that I've got to get money saved up for and get planned to go to. I'm going to see what sort of standard 8 on 6.5 bolt pattern 20 by 10-inch wheels I can find there, if any. But I just think these would kind of look neat on that 75 K5 I have, which it's not like an hardcore off-roader. As far as other tires go, this was the last set of tires I got. Did buy these. They were, I think originally I saw the price tag at $500 for them, but they're so old. Like Dick CPEC Fun Countries, 38, 1550, 16.5. 16.5 is of course undesirable to run a tire that's this old. Safely couldn't. I would never run these on the highway anymore because they're so old and weather cracked. But they have good tread and they would work perfect for a rig that never leaves the property. They're all matching. They have okay tread left for getting around here. I'm thinking maybe we could throw them on the short box here. Right now I got the 38.5 boggers on it. Did take it to a mud bog once. I went through the mud pit a couple times and really that's about it. I can drive it around here and maybe the Dick CPEC Fun Countries will go on here so we can use the boggers on one of the other mud trucks. And this obviously is never going to go down the highway again anyways, so I'm not too worried about that. And if it does, we'll put a different set of tires on it. We got this Miller welder for 300 bucks. It's a little bit older of a unit, but they say it works good, so we're taking their word on it. Hopefully it'll work good, so we'll be able to use it around here on a variety of different things. The very last thing that I bought was this winch bumper off of a smaller wheeling rig of some sort, because it's not that wide. It's got a winch mounting plate. It's been just kind of hacked off whatever it was attached to. And they had a $20 price tag on it with a roller fair lead and a D-ring that is stuck. And it was there when they were loading up, and we were loading up, and we were done loading up, and they were about to start loading, and I was kind of looking at it, and they're like, 10 bucks. I was like, all right, I'll take it for 10 bucks. And they just about cheered because they didn't have to load it themselves. And I had to load it. I just threw it on the trailer here. But that was the last purchase of this year's swap meet for me. Overall, kind of a lighter year for me. I bought 0 vehicles. Last year, I bought one truck off Marketplace, the old orange 1974 Chevy Square Body. And then we had the Tangent Scout that I had bought previously and picked up and had to bring home. So it was 2 rigs coming back. The year before that, somehow I bought 3 square bodies. And the year before that, I bought a K5 Blazer frame that had 3/4 tons under it. Has a rolling chassis. Well, I'll make a video about pronunciations later. I'd also bought at the swap meet a V30 crew cab that was wrecked and rolled over. 1-ton dually with a 60 front 454, and had to haul those 2 home. So like there's been consistently vehicles or things on the trailer, at least 2 per year that we had to haul home. And this time absolutely no vehicles, no trucks, no rolling frames, just tires. Came home with 1 empty trailer, this trailer loaded, and another trailer with a few tires on it. So we're pretty light overall. And as is the case with vehicle attention deficit disorder, what's more exciting are these 2 trucks that I barely know yet because I bought them right before we went to the swap meet. We're going to take a look at these trucks next. But for now, I'm going to finish unloading from the swap meet, and maybe we'll go over what the heck I bought last week, not at the swap meet. We'll see y'all later.